Hi folks, Lee here from BPS. Something we've been wanting to do for a while is a video for first time surfers and non-surfing parents who want to help their kids to learn to surf, and hopefully these tips will help you towards a successful start to their or your surfing journey. So now for the non-surfing parents, I'm not magic, I can't make sure your children listen to you, but I think once you know these things over time you should be able to help them learn this stuff, or also you can use the trick I used to use, which is get someone that your kids think is cooler than you and get them to tell them the same thing and they'll listen. So, but I'll leave that with you. So tip number one is getting your balance right. So by balance I mean be on the board. You don't want to be too far forward because your board does that. You don't want to be too far back because your board does that, and side to side as well. So that something that a lot of learners and children and adults do is they'll see a wave coming and they just flop onto the board at the absolute last second. They're not balanced, they're all over the place, and that is not a good start in terms of catching waves. So avoid that. Second tip is pick your waves, and what I mean by that is just be a little bit selective. Don't paddle for absolutely everything. When you're not paddle fit, you're not used to surfing, your shoulders will be exhausted in sort of 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, just pick the wave and maybe only go for them when you're actually balanced, as I said, correctly. Third one is generate speed towards the beach, and that's a really valuable thing. So firstly, it's easier to catch a wave when you're moving towards the beach. The faster you are moving, or the closer to the speed of the wave that you're moving towards the beach, the easier it is for you to sort of be gently picked up by the wave. And the other thing that this does is that as you're paddling towards the beach, you're actually checking to get that feeling for how your balance is going as well, so you can make minor adjustments. For parents of younger children, you're probably going to want to be in the water beside them and maybe giving them a gentle push. So we're doing a second video on that as well, because there's a few helpful tips with that, so keep a lookout for that. Fourth tip is understand your board stability. So what I mean there is once you're balanced on the board and once there's water moving underneath the board, your surfboard it's a little bit like a skimboard. Skimboard happily moves across the surface of the water when it's moving. When it's still, it completely sinks. Surfboard is the same thing. Surfboard, when it's just still in the water, is not very stable, does that. But when it's actually moving across the surface of the water, you get a lot of stability, and that gives you the stable platform to push down and actually stand up and take off, catch the wave. And so that's what we're all about. So there you go, 4 things to think of or to remember. So get your balance right. Don't just flop on the wave at the absolute last second without your balance organised. Pick your waves, or save your energy a little bit when you're starting out so you don't just get tired out too quickly. Work on that generating speed towards the beach, checking how your balance is going, and then understand that board stability and realise that you don't really want to stand up until there's a reasonable amount of water going underneath your board, and that gives you that stability. So there you go, hope that helps. Cheers.